Hello, good evening. Um, I only get 10 minutes and I have a lot to go over. I'm going to try to explain this and I'm just going to get straight to it. Uh, I used to always pray to the spirit of the universe, but I was treating it as though it was this big abstract thing that exists out there that would somehow swoop in and magically help me solve my problems. And it is. Over time, I started to realize I'm a part of this universe, so when I'm praying to the spirit of the universe, I guess I'm calling upon my higher self. It's external and it's internal, and that's true. But all of that was a very intellectual thing. You see that a lot online. Be a co-creator with the spirit of the universe. Very, very good. But again, it was solely intellectual that I would do that. It was like, it's true, but I don't understand how it's true, kind of thing. Then I get into the chakra business. Prana courses through my body, and suddenly I start being the spirit of the universe. It quits being an intellectual idea and it starts to become more of a walking reality. So if the universe, the spirit of the universe, creates everything, because everything in creation is in the universe, then all things that are created are the spirit of the universe. So I'm the spirit of the universe. This greenhouse is the spirit of the universe. You're the spirit of the universe. This iPhone is the spirit of the universe. Now, when the spirit of the universe manifests itself, it manifests itself in many different ways, but it manifests itself as energy. Now, matter is the densest form of energy. It is the slowest moving form of energy. What would a higher form of energy be? Thought. Let's do an experiment. Let's close our eyes and let's go to Rome. Okay, I'm in Rome right now. I'm at the Colosseum. I see some statues with no arms of some naked dudes wearing robes, I guess. Blue sky today. Winding roads, lots of brown. I don't know, I've never really been to Rome, but that's how Rome looks in my head. Let's open our eyes. Woo! We just took a good trip to Rome. Now, let's go to Rome in our bodies. We there yet? No? Okay. Gonna take me a little bit of time to get to Rome in my body. And in order for Rome to become a part of my waking reality, I would have to take certain actions and certain steps to manifest that reality into my reality. And even once that became my reality, after all the steps I took to manifest it, it would only be my reality because initially I had the thought to do so. So in a very real and practical way, the densest energy always follows the highest. Having the thought to go to Rome was probably following something even higher, like the inspiration to do so. This occurred to me when I was learning method acting, Stanislavski. You do not jump and then see the spider. You see the spider, have the reaction, then the physical form jumps. Same thing with chiaroscuro painting. They told me the painting's already done before you even pick up a brush because the painting actually exists in the mind, how you perceive it, and then you translate it into the physical. So I just love, by the way, that art is what's going to tear the whole matrix apart. Anyway, moving on. This cup of coffee will never pick me up and move me over there, but I've just picked it up. I'm going to take a drink. I'm going to sit it down right here. Now, I did this seemingly unnecessary step to prove one other point. The coffee cup will never pick me up and move me over there. The dense energy can never do that. However, I just took my high energy, picked it up, took a drink, dropped the water level down to here, set it down over here to prove one more thing. The densest energy will only mirror back to me what the highest energy has ordered it to do. I see the tree, I make the boards, I build the house. It does not go the other way around. So in a very real and practical way, you could argue that all is mind, because everything that is created before us had to exist in the mind before it manifested into the physical. So you could argue that none of this is real and none of this is even happening. Even though it is happening, we have just manifested it through the collective consciousness. But if we would change the way we think, this would all go into reverse. And I'm going to talk about how to do that. let's just set all that over here. The universe creates two forms of energy, positive energy and negative energy. I'll shoot another video discussing the nature of those two, but positive energy, negative energy. Now, when I am consuming a plant-based diet, I am eating minerals that this matter is made of. I'm consuming the oxygen that is necessary for this matter to thrive. Green is the color of love in a spiritual sense. It is. That's a universal truth. However, so when I'm consuming a plant-based diet, I am consuming life. However, when I am consuming a meat-based diet, and I know no one wants to hear about it, everyone jokes at us vegans and everyone, you know, we have dominion over the animals, all that shit. Okay, cool. Let's just sit down and objectively look at what's going on in the slaughterhouses producing all of the meat that we are currently consuming. I think after a few minutes, anyone with an intelligence could come to the realization that what we are viewing there is very negative energy, and we are consuming that all day long. Now, there is an ancient Egyptian proverb, as above, so below, as within, so without, on earth as it is in heaven. When I'm eating a diet based on sugar and meat, I'd have to ask, how is it in heaven? I know everyone values science. Science has shown it leads to type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, death, depression. Yeah, death. How is it on Earth? Well, we're going to die of climate change, and I live in one of the most violent countries ever known to man. And the reason we are going into climate change, the number one cause, is the meat industry. As well as, let's touch upon how much sugar we consume. Meat and sugar will keep you locked into the limbic system of the brain. The limbic system of the brain is the fight or flight or fucking area of the brain. That's about the only activities you can really do there. However, when you lose those out of your diet, go into a plant-based diet, your brain chemistry will suddenly move into the neocortex of the brain, which is the spiritual part of the brain, and you'll realize that everything is actually connected, and you start to interpret all of this in a totally different way. However, we as a species have been enslaved, and we are consuming these foods all day long, and we have been inundated with this is how we believe, so we can never aspire to anything higher. So in a very real way, climate change is not the CEO's fault, and it is not the politicians' fault, even though they have a hand in it. Everything is energy. Money is currency. Money is the physical form of currency. We're the ones who created climate change, and we're doing it by the foods that we eat. We are consuming negative energy. And so since the densest energy follows the highest, the external world mirrors the internal world, we've created this reality. But this reality is also very changeable. It is very malleable, but we have to change psychologically before any of this can change in the physical. As above, so below. We've done this, we've created this. If we change our minds, if we change our patterns. Now, the thing is to stop consuming meat and sugar, I found to be fucking impossible on my own willpower. I couldn't do it. However, once I activated my chakras, all of that happened effortlessly. I don't even think about it. It even cheapens it to intellectualize it because now I'm dealing with something even higher than thought. We go into even higher realms, which dwarfs the current reality that we are living in. So, I'm not really quite sure how to wrap this up, but I'm running out of time. I'll have more for us later. But just start thinking about that. In the three-dimensional reality, everything is external, and it's crabs in a bucket. It's their fault. It's the politician, it's the spouse, it's the CEO, it's blah, blah, blah. In the 5D, we're saying, no, it's me. And once I go in, I have two choices. I can go down, which you do not want to do, or you can go up, which you want to go up. So you see, in a very real way, with the activation of the chakras, a change in the diet, we can all ascend up out of this. But it's strictly a numbers game. I can't be on Instagram all day talking about it. Other people have to do it. And the joy of doing it will prompt you to get on your Instagram and start talking about it. And it's just going to spread out like that. I mean, I've worked very hard to make a solid Instagram page, and I'm throwing that all to the wind to come on here and tell you about it. Please know when the rubber meets the road, this is not what I wanted. And yet, and most of the time I'd keep all of this to myself, but we are in a crisis. So here I am. All right, I'm out of time. Have a good night.